Stand by. We have a CBS News projection for the battleground state of Georgia and its 16 electoral votes. We can project that that Donald Trump is the projected winner in the state of Georgia at this hour. Our first projected winner of the night, Georgia, for Donald Trump.
The first flip.
The first flip, as we know that Joe Biden won Georgia 4 years ago. That's significant.
Yeah, and I can give you a little taste of why that is if you look at the exit polls for Georgia. And we look at three groups here that Donald Trump performed well with. The first is independents. He won 54-43. That's an 11-point victory with independents. In 2020, Biden was the one who won independents. Voters of age 65 and older. We told the story about how in the Midwest, the older voters are going for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. Well, not in Georgia, 59-40. That's a 19-point victory with voters over age 65 in Georgia. And then finally, white non-college degree. Remember, that was always going to be a good group for Donald Trump. But Kamala Harris,
huge margin.
Gargantuan, 81-18. If Harris was going to have to do well anywhere, it was because she was going to have to live in the mid-30s in that number. That's a deep Trump stronghold, but you've got to at least be competitive with your opponent's stronghold, or at least lean into it. She was not.
Now, one thing about Georgia, though, it does not have the size of an electorate of white non-college degree that Michigan and Wisconsin do. Almost 50% of the electorate in those two states is white non-college degree.
But the reason she's having problems there is because it's a larger share of the electorate, and she's not doing well enough in that larger share. It was always a share that Donald Trump was going to get. That was never a question. But she has to do well enough in that group and then do well in her groups, and she's just not doing well enough with white non-college, whether it's in Georgia or in the Midwest.
And perhaps our CBS data going back to September should have forewarned us on this. If you look at the way economic concerns resonated, 8 in 10 voters at that time told CBS their income wasn't keeping up with inflation. At that time, 7 in 10 said housing in their area of Georgia was unaffordable. We saw repeatedly concerns about accessibility, affordability, and people often, when they're asked about the state of the economy, that's what they think of, is what am I paying at the grocery store? They're not necessarily thinking of the data points that we are delivering on the national news that say, hey, the jobless rate is pretty good. Inflation is coming down.
Eggs and milk.
It's the lived experience of what you encounter. And that's something we saw in Georgia.
And I have to say, too, I think probably the media overemphasized the price of groceries, which are a main thing, but also mortgage rates, right?
Being
able to buy a house, we talked about housing in the vice presidential debate, buy a car. I mean, the ability to borrow money and your credit card bills going up as well, borrowing money when you buy things. And so for everybody, they felt the pinch at home big time.
And the Harris campaign certainly tried to catch him on this issue, right? If you look at polling in the last few days, she had essentially drawn even with him. The problem is she didn't get ahead of him. There wasn't enough time for her to unveil these plans, and they'll have them marinate. And already tonight, you know they're in trouble when they start blaming each other, and it's coming in already. One congressman saying there'll be plenty of time to do this blame, but if there's one thing we're not doing right, the Democratic Party is a working-class voter problem. We must improve our numbers here to win. They understand as this continues to happen, and as the inevitable may happen in Wisconsin, as we're seeing already, that if they can't win over those voters and they fail to capture them on the economy, then they have some real restructuring to do going forward, especially if this is going to cut across age groups, education, and ethnicity.
He did very well, Donald Trump, with educated white men and white women, but it didn't seem to matter how...
Non-college educated.
Non-college educated, yes. But it didn't seem to matter how often you heard the economy's doing well, the job report is doing well. None of that seemed to matter. People would still say, I'm still paying too much for milk. I'm still paying too much for bread. Well, they can't feel it at home. It doesn't matter what you say.
You look at this. Since Biden took office, rents in the battleground states are up 20%. That's not because Joe Biden was elected. The cost of your rent is affected by a number of different factors, but people blame the boss. I mean, the grocery inflation, 22%. We were on the back end of a pandemic that completely upended the supply chains and global economy.
What the political scientists will tell you is that also voters don't give you credit for the good things that are happening. The unemployment rate was lower in 6 of the 7 battleground states under Joe Biden than under Donald Trump, leaving aside COVID. Pre-COVID Trump unemployment was higher in every battleground state, but Nevada But voters they don't give you credit for things that happen. They are concerned about the plenty of things that they legitimately feel about their own economic position.
Much to great frustration inside the Biden White House. Almost from day one, they would complain to you behind the scenes that they felt like they were never getting credit for the advancements in the economy that were happening even underneath him. They would scream from the rooftops, and he would do press conferences, or he would go to battleground states and talk about housing, and they felt like he never got the credit for it. There was nothing they could do to vocally challenge the microphone that Trump had on that point.